Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again on this Monday. It still feels weird. It's this time of year, when there's no football on Sunday. It's almost like, what do I do with my Sundays outside of going to church? Of course, praise God. Um, but yeah, it it sucks. But at least we're blessed as Cowboy Nation. You got a bunch of these Cowboy YouTubers. Shout out to all my colleagues, all my fellow Cowboy YouTubers. Um, put out fire content all year round. Not all of us do, but the majority of us do content all year round. So guys, you don't have to slide out, even though the season ends, because again, y'all still getting good content from us. We're doing this year round because there's still stuff to talk about. Draft, upcoming free agency period and things of that nature. So we know that, with the things already changing in the atmosphere, we know that the March deadline for opening for free agency, even the moves that were made already are not going to become official, like the Matt Stafford, Jared Goff trade, and Carson Wentz going to the Colts. All of that is not official until the opening of the season in was it March 19th or something like that, something like that. But yeah, the opening of the new league year. So once that happens, then you're going to start seeing things happen at rapid pace. You're going to see teams go out and get their free agents and things of that nature. And as far as the Cowboys go, we've heard so many different things where, are they going to re-sign Gerald McCoy, give him another opportunity on a small contract? Alden Smith, is he coming back? Um, would they like to go get Richard Sherman and give him, because he said himself that he wants to play 2 more seasons before he retires? Okay, so would you give him a small 2-year contract for a vet min and play under his old defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, who is now of course the Cowboys defensive coordinator? Now I know a lot of you are down from this year, and it's understandable, from losing Dak to losing Blake Jarwin, the O line being decimated. Um, just Zeke Elliott not being himself, and everybody's trying to trade him off. And I'm like, first of all, you can't get rid of Zeke. That contract is too much of a cap hit for you, and it doesn't make sense. I've heard so many weird things about trading players, and well, you can't trade Dak because he doesn't even have a contract. But I've heard people try to get rid of Dak and get this player. Somebody said something about Ben Roethlisberger coming to the Cap. What the fuck? Why? Ben should be getting ready to retire. Like, why would you want old Ben? Why would you want Big Ben? Why? Why? When you already have a young franchise quarterback in Dak Prescott that's more than proven himself that he could be a winner in this league. Do you know how hard it is to find? Like I've talked about this many times, and again, I got to go back and look, but 17, at least 17 different quarterbacks since between Troy Aikman and Tony Romo. And then when you got Tony Romo, he fell in your lap. If it wasn't for Bill Parcells giving him an opportunity and Quincy Carter getting cut out of training camp that one year, Tony Romo would have never been the quarterback. He probably would have been in Denver. Um, we treated like Dak like crap when he got drafted because we wanted Connor Cook over him. We wanted Paxton Lynch over him. Neither one of them mofos is even playing or starting in the league. So, and even if they are in the league, they back up somewhere. I don't even know. I got to look them up. I never even took the time because I really don't care. Dak Prescott is the only quarterback from the 2016 draft that either is still a starting quarterback or hadn't or basically not playing at all. So that's even more reason why the Cowboys need to resign him, because again, finding a franchise quarterback, that shit is not growing trees. There's already talk about Trevor Lawrence not maybe not being the first overall pick now. They got this other young cat that's coming out, um, that they're looking at, Fisher or whatever, that they're looking at more than him. So again, You don't know what these play like. Everybody gawks and gets excited over these young draft picks, these young quarterbacks coming out of college because they play so dynamic at their school. But understand that that doesn't always transition to the NFL. Look at Tua Tagovailoa; he's having a hard time transitioning to the league. But we know the Dolphins are going to be good because they got 2 first-round draft picks this year. I think they picked fifth and 18th. So they got two they got 2 first-round draft picks in the top 20? What the fuck? Like, come on now. Come on. So, I mean, with all these quarterbacks moving and shifting teams, everybody's like seeing Tom Brady go to another team and winning the Super Bowl. Just because that happened with him doesn't mean that's going to happen with another veteran. Tom Brady has done things that no other quarterback in NFL history has ever done. You can't base what you're doing off of Tom Brady, period. Ever. Never. You can't do that. So people got to just stop that. So that's just how I feel about that. But, as far as the Dallas Cowboys go, you look at what we have on offense. Now, we know that our offense is good, but that's all predicated on what Dak Prescott does. They need to sign Dak Prescott because it's more than important to sign him because, again, you have a dynamic receiver. You got one of the best receiving cores in the league right now. You got Blake Jarwin coming back. Dalton Schultz stepped up. If they re-sign Blake Bell, you still got him, the Belldozer. This offense is going to be fucking dynamic, and with Dak Prescott being playing the whole season, come on, he played 5 games last year and was on pace to shatter the NFL quarterback single season record. He was on pace to do that, but freak injury, it happens. But we know that Dak is durable. That's a freak incident. That's the same thing that happened to the young Allen Hurns. You hate to see that, but that's football. Now, people question his ankle. Well, the dude's walking on the beach. And you know how hard it is to walk on sand. So, but shout out to Dak. Dak Helping Hands, his charity organization, giving back to Texas during the power outages and the cold weather and things of that nature. Dak is a true leader. He's a stand-up guy. He's in the community. He's doing what he needs to do. He ain't even got a contract, and he's still giving back. I don't want to hear nobody talk about anything about Dak and his leadership and he's a model person, and you want that as your quarterback, as the face of your franchise. Period. I'm just saying, but we take Dak for granted because I guarantee you, if they don't sign him, he's going to go to another team, and he is going to make us like a fool for letting him go. He'll go to the Patriots. There's so many teams that need quarterbacks right now. The Bears, the Patriots. I know that they might keep Cam Newton, but still, they would love to have Dak Prescott. The Colts traded for Carson Wentz. Now, granted, Carson Wentz might play better over there because he's got Frank Wright, but that's it. But guys that were drafted higher than Dak are not even doing as well as Dak is doing. So I'm just saying, you need to sign him. Be thankful that we got a franchise guy. Show him the respect that he deserves and give him a contract. I'm tired of people saying what he's worth and what he ain't worth and all that other bullshit. You pay him the market value of what a starting quarterback is. None of these other guys had issues getting their money. So why does Dak have to go through all this shit just to deal with it? Everybody always talk about like, oh, this and that. I'm not, I appreciate my quarterback, but I'm not, how everybody was like say, oh, you a Romo-sexual or you this, and I'm not a Dak sexual. I don't. I like him as my quarterback because he's the quarterback of my team. I've seen what he does, and I speak facts about it. If it was another quarterback that did the same thing, I'd be for him too. So as a fan, you should be for Dak Prescott. There should be no reason why you would want to see Dak Prescott walk. Because those people that say that, they still don't give me a valid reason or replacement. Because if you want to get rid of something, you have to give me something that's going to be better than what you're trying to get rid of. And there's nothing that you can do right now that's going to be better than Dak Prescott coming in. It's not. No other, unless it's Tom Brady, no other quarterback's going to come in here and do what Dak has done. Dak already has a rapport with Amari Cooper. He plays well with Michael Gallup. The young CeeDee Lamb loves Dak Prescott. Even Cedric, even Cedric Wilson plays good with Dak Prescott. You get all these receivers on it. Blake Jarwin made a Instagram post like, "Yo, we doing this again? We running this back? What's up? Let's get it." So why are we sitting here hanging all of this over our heads about Dak this and Dak that and Zeke this and Zeke that? Like, I'm so tired of hearing it. I really am. Sign him, because I guarantee you sign him, Zeke's gonna be better because Zeke's got his guy. You're gonna have a healthy O line back. Your O line is gonna be blocking. Now, true, you should get some more young guys in the draft because we don't know how long Tyron Smith's back and ankles and knees and other shit is gonna hold up. So again, you need that, but you're gonna have a healthy Lyle Collins, and I know he learned from being out of shape last offseason, and he's been out there working hard trying to get his body back in shape and doing this. I think he'll be ready as well. Your offense being on point is also going to help your defense. Now, what they need to do on defense, and a lot of you guys need to understand this, it's not like you need an overhaul on defense. You don't need an overhaul on defense. Get you some young scrappy safeties, get you a few cheap veteran guys, and Dan Quinn will be able to use these guys because Dan Quinn is going to make the necessary adjustments that he's going to need to get these guys on track. Jalen Smith, everybody was hard on Jalen Smith. I guarantee you Jalen Smith's going to play better in Dan Quinn's defense because they're going to put him back to the position that he's supposed to be playing because you know he got a drop foot. Shout out to Mike Fisher. Mike Fisher was talking about it. You know, he said it himself. Dan Quinn said that I'm not Dan Quinn. Mike Nolan came in here again. He didn't have no interview. He was just a hire by McCarthy because it was his buddy, and you know, hiring him didn't make sense at all because he's not a guy. He's trying to make this team into something they're not. They're not a three. They're not a 4-3 team. I mean, they're not a 3-4 team. Your best defensive player, DeMarcus Lawrence, trying to make him a 3-4 outside linebacker, edge rusher doesn't make sense because he's a 4-3 guy. He's played 4-3 his whole life. And we don't have the linebackers for 3-4. I've explained this so many times. So for that to be formidable, you have to hire a coach that does 4-3, and that's what they did. They finally did what they needed to do. It seemed like they learned from their lesson last year, but is Dan Quinn enough? We don't know. We'll see. But I know for damn sure that he's going to get this defense playing a little bit better than what they did because, again, you being dead last in a running week after week after week, you can't sit here and tell your players, okay, well, we're going to make the scheme work for the players, not try to fit the players into a certain box. But you need to look at what your personnel is and you need to play like how your personnel looks. So hiring a Dan Quinn made all the sense in the world because, again, he's a 4-3 guy. He does similar things that what Ryan Marinelli did, but more modernized. So I think that it's going to work out. These guys are going to love it. They're going to perceive it better because Richard Sherman said himself that Dan Quinn is good with his players and he's able to bring the best out of them. And most importantly, these guys take to him and they understand what he's trying to do. Unlike with Mike Nolan coming in here saying one thing and doing another thing, and then the players are like, what are we doing? You're not teaching what you're trying to show to us the right way, which is the reason why they kept getting gashed in the run game, which is why Dontari Poe gave up, which is why Everson Griffin said, fuck this shit, and was talking to James Slater and said, you know what, Mike Nolan ain't shit. And that was the anonymous guy. So, if y'all didn't know. So, that's why, Everson Griffin wasn't here. You're not going to tell me Everson Griffin is a bad player because we've seen what he did with the Vikings. But then they come here, all of a sudden, it's nothing. These players just gave up. They didn't give a fuck. Excuse my language. They didn't care about what Mike Nolan was talking about because it didn't make no damn sense. So, having a guy like Dan Quinn is definitely going to help this defense. I think that the Jones family just got to get out of their own way. They have to allow their coaches to be coaches, and they have to do the smart thing. Okay, yes, you gave Mike McCarthy the authority to hire his staff, but also understand that you still gotta interview these guys. You gotta make sure what these guys' philosophy and what they're trying to bring to the table makes sense for the general consensus of the team. Because if it doesn't make sense for the general consensus of the team, then why the hell are they the coach? It doesn't make any sense at all. So you either do it the right way or don't do it at all. So that's all I got for right now. Let me know what you guys think about that. But again, It's gonna be brighter days. We'll be talking more and more about this off season and these off season moves and some guys that they're looking at to get re-signing some of the guys that they had that's important, like Goodwin. CJ Goodwin is probably the most important re-signee because he was your special teams ace. So that's it. But outside of that, we can talk about the guys in the draft. There's so many different ways they could go in the draft, and the way things are shifting and changing, it's about 4 or 5 different possibilities they could go to with the first pick of the draft. So with that being said, y'all, it's your boy E2 Blue. Like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. It's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Peace out.